So, we are here today in Thailand on the 15th now. So it's the last day of Songkran in Thailand. But we're actually going to be explaining from some of my Burmese friends here. They're going to tell you a little bit about the origin in Myanmar. What do they call Songkran in Myanmar?
Thingyan.
Thingyan, okay.
Yeah, Thingyan Water Festival.
What can you tell me about Thingyan?
Thingyan Festival is like our New Year of our own calendar, Burmese calendar. And then we have to do a lot of good works, and we have to have some fun, and we have like traditional food. So we like donation and good works everywhere, like literally everywhere all around Burma, Myanmar.
So would you say it's very similar to like making merit and trying to do good things to bring in more good in the new year?
Yes.
And this is common all over Myanmar?
All over Myanmar.
So what would you say as a Burmese person that you find personally to be different between Thailand's Songkran and Myanmar's Thingyan?
Thailand Songkran is like they have like more fun, and they have like crazy streets everywhere. People are like match shooting, and they use like small guns, and we use also guns, but it's for children. We use like really big gun, but never shoot to like some older people or kids. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and like in the main street, like a big city called Yangon, they have like in the main street they all close it down, and then they have like every big stages everywhere, like EDM festival.
Wow.
And this is the good fun part, and the good works part is like we wash older people hair, and we cut their nails and give them food like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think so. Thailand Songkran, they don't do like that. I think so.
Well, they do more in the rural areas, I've seen.
Yeah.
But you're right in the sense that it's not as mainstream now today as the water festival part of it is. And I think if I'm understanding correctly, in Myanmar, they're still holding on to more of the traditional way of honoring, and it's not heavily emphasized to be a water festival.
No.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you.
Jesu ba bia.
Thingyan is the Myanmar New Year festival that takes place in the middle of April, same as the tradition of Songkran in Thailand. It is a Buddhist festival celebrated over a period of 4 to 5 days, culminating in the start of the new year. The dates of the Thingyan festival are calculated with the Burmese calendar. Water throwing with buckets or dousing one another with spray guns or hoses is the distinguishing feature of this festival and may be done on the first 4 days of the festival, whereas the 5th day is a ceremonial day focused on the Buddhist religion. The story about Thingyan is a Buddhist version of Hindu mythology. The crossover between these two cultures has a major overlap, sharing many origin stories, deities, similarities in ceremonial practices, and core beliefs. In the Hindu story that the Burmese follow is centered around Arsi, the king of Brahman, who lost a wager against the king of Devas, known as Sakra. This is a variation that presents confusion among some groups because in one instance we acknowledge Ganesha being cursed to have an elephant head and being a son of Shiva, while in this story, Arsi becomes Ganesha after losing this bet and having his head decapitated but remaining alive. The head of an elephant was placed on the Brahma's body and thus became Ganesha. The Brahma was so powerful that if the head were thrown into the sea, it would dry up immediately. If it were thrown onto land, it would be scorched. If it were thrown up into the air, the sky would burst into flames. Sakra, therefore, ordained that the Brahma's head be carried by one goddess after another, taking turns for a year each. The new year, henceforth, has come to signify the changing of hands of the Brahma's head. If we look at this symbology, it helps us understand the thought process of the previous generations and how some of it was taken literally and later became story, though the traditions and practice remained. This became a cultural inheritance, if you will. The farthest back date we have in stone inscriptions for the origin of this festival takes us to 11 AD. First day of the festival, the people are to fast and only eat once a day while observing the 8 precepts of Buddhism. We could compare this to the Christian Sabbath. Alms and offerings are laid before monks in their monasteries, and offerings of a green coconut with its stalk intact encircled by bunches of green bananas. Scented water is poured over Buddha statues, cleansing and cleaning, a rite of purification. In ancient times, Burmese kings had a hair-washing ceremony with clear, pristine water from Gong Sai Kyun, which was a special island where the water had to be gathered from and was considered holy in nature and only used for this annual ceremony. Nightfall brings music, song and dance, and merrymaking in anticipation of the water festival. In neighborhoods, pavilions with festive names constructed from bamboo, wood, and beautifully decorated papier-mâché are assembled overnight. Local girls rehearse for weeks and even years in the run-up to the greatest event in song and dance and chorus lines. Each band of girls are uniformly dressed in colorful tops and skirts and wear garlands of flowers and tinsel. The women would wear the famous white powder on their faces that you see in Thai Songkran festivals. They call it Tanaka. This is a paste. Hey everybody! Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And also, for the full featured version of this